Tourists returned to Beijing's Tiananmen Square one day after a rare deadly car crash in one of China's most guarded public spaces. This reenactment of the incident by Next Media Animation shows the sport utility vehicle veering off a road and driving through a pedestrian area. After knocking down several bystanders, it crashes in flames near the main entrance to the Forbidden City. 5 people were killed, the vehicle's 3 passengers and 2 tourists, a Philippine woman and a Chinese man. Reports from Beijing say Chinese authorities believe the crash was a deliberate act by people from the troubled region of Xinjiang, home to minority ethnic Uyghurs. Police issued a notice to hotels requesting information about 2 Xinjiang men with Uyghur names suspected of involvement in the incident. The notice also identifies 4 Xinjiang license plates allegedly used by the suspects. China accuses Uyghur separatists of carrying out years of attacks in Xinjiang to try to establish an independent state. In the region's last major outbreak of violence in June, Chinese authorities blamed Uyghurs for a riot in which 24 people were killed. The exiled World Uyghur Congress rejects accusations of Uyghur involvement in terrorism. Rushing to judgment about responsibility for the Tiananmen incident also should be avoided, says spokesman Alim Seitov.
I think it's really seriously unfair to singling out the Uyghurs, informing hotels and other places to search for several Uyghurs and the car tags from Xinjiang, because lots of Chinese people from Xinjiang drive Xinjiang tag cars.
Seitov says the response of Chinese security forces is typical of how they behave in Xinjiang, a region some Uyghurs call East Turkestan.
The Chinese authorities always blame Uyghurs for any kind of violent or even non-violent opposition to Chinese rule as so-called 3 evils of terrorism, separatism, and extremism, trying to justify its heavy-handed rule in East Turkestan against the peaceful Uyghur people.
The Chinese government says its policies in Xinjiang have helped all ethnic groups to enjoy good economic development. But Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying says violent separatists will not be tolerated.
I believe any country facing these cases would do what the Chinese government did to oppose and firmly crack down on them in order to preserve social stability and ensure the safety of the lives and property of people from all ethnic groups.
China says all its minorities are guaranteed wide-ranging religious and cultural freedoms. Michael Lipin, VOA News, Washington.